Those that have been in the Crocoduck Army for more than a year may remember the last time I responded to a video by a guy named Kerry that used to post lots of comments on my videos. He made a video that was essentially about how we shouldn't need evidence for belief in God, and I thought that it needed to be challenged. I haven't heard from him in a long time, but someone sent me a message recently telling me that he made another video a while ago that was even worse than the one I responded to. I was skeptical, and I rarely respond to the same person twice anyway, but I watched the video out of curiosity. Yeah, he was right. It was worse.
One of the most ridiculous phenomena on the internet today is the morally indignant atheist.
Morally indignant atheists are one of the most ridiculous phenomena on the internet today? Oh, I beg to differ with you there, Kerry. Not on the same wacky internet that brought you Planking, Nyan Cat, and Charlie the Unicorn. Oh, and are you a brony?
If we begin with the premise that there is no God, then it follows that no human has any moral authority above him or herself. And clearly, if this is the case, then no one human is born with more moral authority than any other human. Therefore, all moral systems under the assumption of atheism are equally valid.
This is the part where all of you watching at home should be facepalming. Now, Kerry, you're making the same mistake that many a religious person has made about atheists in the past. We don't generally think that each of us individually is above everyone else. Our idea of the world hierarchy is probably somewhat similar to yours, except without God at the top, and instead all of humanity is at the top. There's no single entity in control, supernatural or otherwise. I realize that when you're so eager to find that magic authority figure to kiss up to, that it's a tricky concept to grasp, but try to picture it. Atheists typically require the top layer of moral authority to be something we actually know exists, so humanity works best here. Well, unless of course you're a solipsist.
You're a solipsist?
If one atheist condemns another atheist as a bad person, that other atheist could with equal validity, turn it around and say that the other one is a bad person. The bottom line is that if there is no objective morality imposed by an extra-human authority, whatever you want to call that, and if authority doesn't rise above the level of humanity, then the idea of an indignant atheist morally is ridiculous. Stalemate. I say you're bad, you say I'm bad, there's no conclusion. Stalemate.
Yes, Kerry, the world would be a lot simpler if your God just called an assembly every now and then and told us what he wanted. Putting an image of his son in a grilled cheese sandwich just doesn't really give us the kind of specific guidance that we need on moral questions in 2011. So yes, we humans have to figure out what works best for humanity, as messy a process as that can sometimes be. The alternative, of course, is that we can just do what you say your God wants everyone else to do, but then everyone else's God is whispering to them too, and those messages conflict all the time, even between people in the same religion. So aside from wars over whose God is correct, what are we left with then morally?
Stalemate.
Exactly.
So you moral atheists, just give it a rest, and realize that whatever morality you have is simply the result of your being on the side of the majority. The majority decides on this particular thing being good and this particular thing being bad, and that is the basis for an atheist saying that this behavior is good and this behavior is bad.
The majority? You think I'm arguing for the majority being important in a world where so many people believe in various gods and I don't? If I were concerned with being in the majority, I would have just bought my local, culturally appropriate creation myth, hook, line, and sinker like you did. The subject of morality isn't simple, Kerry, and I'm sure there are areas where we agree and areas where we disagree. I and many other atheists are working to persuade others to help humanity, and you're off praying for deities that play favorites between people based on personal preferences and simplistic good and evil decisions to solve our moral quandaries. But no, as an atheist, I'm not morally indignant about your choices. I just wish your idea of a deity was a little more thoughtful.